Hi, I'm Kathleen.
And I'm Sean.
And you're listening to the Dead Baby Bear podcast.
Dead Baby Bear. Long story.
We're in our new studio. In our Finally, Jim got his shit together. What a lazy ass piece of shit.
Finally, we're in a bedroom instead of a living room.
With a ceiling fan.
It's not the master suite, let's be honest. It is the secondary chamber of change.
Have we gone into the master suite yet? I don't think I've even seen it.
Not many people have. Only certain ladies.
Jim's master. Jim, you have a lot of running tags here. Like, you know those tags? So you must run a lot of miles. You used to run. Not anymore. What's an ultra marathon? Can you be on screen because no one can hear you? Well, an ultra. Okay.
We'll repeat it.
An ultra marathon.
50-kilometer and a 50-mile race.
50-kilometer. What?
50 miles.
Like you ran with your feet.
Yeah.
In Edmonton?
One was in Canmore.
Canmore. Yeah.
And then out by Sherwood Park.
Did you have to run up a mountain? Jesus. I don't understand people doing that. I have this new thing in my mind that I want to be able to run a 5K. So I downloaded Couch to 5K again. Because when I lived in LA, I had nothing to do. So I used Couch to 5K. And I was actually like running and shocked that I wasn't dead. But I want to do it again. But I'm always worried that someone's going to see me running and be like, look at her, she's about to die.
She doesn't deserve to run.
She doesn't deserve to
Get back
run.
on the couch, biatch. Where you belong, watching Bachelorette.
Hey, I do like those shows, and I don't care.
I just went on vacation, Kathleen.
I know you did.
Me on a vacation.
Did you go to Paris? Did you go to
yeah, we went
Hawaii?
to Prague.
Yeah.
No, we did not. We went to Vernon.
Vernon,
But it was
British
a funny
Columbia.
holiday because we were supposed to leave Saturday morning to go to head out to Vernon. So it was me, my family, and my sister's family.
How far is it to drive? Like 12 hours?
It's about 10 and a half.
Yeah.
Something like that. So then we were ready to leave like Saturday morning. And then so Friday night, my sister drops her Chihuahua off at her mother-in-law's house to keep this dog for the week that we're gone.
Uh-huh.
Within an hour, the dog is gone.
No.
Yeah, the dog has escaped.
God.
And the people who lost it didn't. And I don't blame them because if I lost your dog, if I lost Eugene,
Oh yeah, you'd be fucked.
well, not only but I would look for 2 hours before I told anybody.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm not fucking telling Kathleen a thing, and I got to find this fucking dog.
Yeah.
So the people who lost it, they didn't notify anybody else, and this dog will only respond to like 3 people on Earth.
Oh my God.
So my wife saw it on Facebook Friday night at like 10 p.m. Just saw it on Facebook, like, hey, I seen a Chihuahua on Highway 21. Like, just saw a Chihuahua on the highway.
Oh my God.
So she's like, somebody said there's a Chihuahua on the highway or something, and I'm like, oh my God, could that be my sister's dog Peanut?
Oh my God.
And then somebody else posted on there, yes, that is Peanut. So then at like 10 p.m., like I'm out on the road, like driving, trying to find this fucking dog around Highway 21. My sister's family, they all come out, they're all searching. I got pulled over twice. Like
cops?
Yeah, because I was driving slow on the side with my 4-ways on, like trying to find a dead or living animal.
Yeah.
And then so they get pulled over, like, what are you doing? And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Can you radio?
Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
So we're driving around. We don't find it anywhere that night. Like, we were searching till probably like 3:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
Didn't find anything. And then went home, went to sleep for a little bit, woke up at 7:30, went back out and looked all day, like from 7:30 till 9 at night. No sign of the dog. And then it's funny because everybody you run into is like, oh, that fucking dog is owl food. That dog, and it's like, yeah, we know that. We know that's a possibility. Like, everybody thinks they're a genius for suggesting your animal could have been killed by another animal.
That's horrifying.
So it started to fucking make me mad. People were like, thanks, Einstein.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? A predator could have killed it. Like, oh, is that correct?
Oh, do you think so?
A chihuahua could have
Not
been
a
picked up
chihuahua.
and murdered by a larger animal? Is that possible?
Did you start saying that to people?
I would just say, like, I don't think that's I don't think coyotes eat that.
Coyotes
Like,
hate Mexican
some
food.
people started thinking I was tough because they'd be like, no, probably a coyote got it. And I'm like, coyotes don't eat small dogs. And they'd be like, oh, you'd be surprised.
You should have said they don't eat Mexican food.
But it was funny. So then
I like that.
So then the next morning, so now we skipped the Saturday part of the vacation.
Yeah.
We didn't go Saturday. So Sunday morning, it's like, well, but it's really, a difficult position for my sister because that's her kind of her baby. But we've got this holiday that we've booked and we haven't found it for a day and a half. So it's kind of like, well, Peanut's probably gone. I can't, but she didn't want to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from your sister's perspective, yeah, I would not want to.
She didn't want to go. So she was like, kind of like, I don't, but she did come like, so, and of course my dad is like, what the fuck? We got to get on the road. Like, he does, the dog's dead.
Oh my God.
Why get fussed about a dead animal? Like, you want to cut open every owl and check its stomach? Like he wasn't. He didn't say that. But he, he was like, he's typical old crotchety fucking white asshole that's like, let's get on the road. So I'm like, well, Dad, she doesn't even want to come. Like so we eventually we leave.
Yeah.
We're driving. I think we got to like Revelstoke, and then we started getting. So we driven like 8 hours or whatever. We're kind of like it's everybody's kind of sad and tired as fuck because we've been looking for it. And then all of a sudden we start getting messages on Facebook like, hey, I saw that dog like on the road or whatever. And we're like, what? So there was people that were still in the fort. We were texting them like, can you go look for this? Yeah. And then they found him.
Oh my God, thank you.
He was just like, and it was funny because like he basically, must have fucking just hid and then become so exhausted and tired that he just ran into the city. And all he did was like laid on by somebody's door and just laid there.
Oh,
and then somebody came and picked him up and he was just like, I don't care. Go ahead and fucking kill me. Kill me or feed me, but
one or the other.
I couldn't stay in that bush.
The coyotes were after me.
So that made the vacation more fun, knowing there wasn't a dead dog hanging over it. Yeah, so the dog stayed there.
With those people? Did they feel
with the
awful?
people? Well, I think there was some talk of like maybe we'll have him somewhere else, and I'm like, nobody loses a dog twice.
And then it goes missing again.
Nobody fucking. There's no way they're gonna have that animal's gonna be in a cage for 7 days. So
chained
stayed there and. The holiday was pretty nice. Nice to get away from the podcast. I mean, take a break from the
stress of the podcast. I know.
It's not easy talking stupid for 43 minutes.
It's pretty hard, actually.
It's actually hard listening to it. Like I'm not surprised our listenership is so low because
I don't think it's hard. I like listening to it. It's the only podcast that I've ever done where I'm like, this is fun to listen to. Mostly because I like listening to you.
Yeah, well, because we have to do the description. Like, so I have to listen to it to do the descriptions.
Yeah.
And last week was the first time where I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, like. With the fucking, talking about the school shooting, talent show, whatever.
It was good, though.
Yeah, it was fine. But yeah, like sometimes it's hard to listen to. The Gollywog episode sucked.
Yeah, the Gollywog, it was not our best. But you can't.
No.
It can't. Be
and you
perfect.
know what we were? We were drinking.
During the Gollywog one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should just get high.
Yeah, because drinking just made us like, and another thing. I can't do comedy drunk either because I'm so loose that like I get walkouts and stuff.
I can have a couple drinks, but I don't like doing it like drunk.
No, I have to care about the audience.
A little bit.
And alcohol makes me not care about the audience at all. Like, go fuck yourself then.
Maybe that's good though.
No, it doesn't. It does not work for me at all. I've tried it a few times and people are always like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then they leave. So.
On your vacation, you said you rented a double-decker pontoon. What's a double-decker pontoon boat?
It's a double-decker pontoon boat, Kathleen.
Well, what the fuck is a pontoon boat?
A pontoon boat is just like a giant floaty thing with like two flotation.
Like a party barge?
Yeah, sort of like that, yeah. Okay. And there was like plush seating and there was a top deck and then a water slide that the kids could go off of.
Like a houseboat without the indoors.
Yeah, so it was like it was like a wet bar and stuff. It was, and we were on Kalamalka Lake or something.
And did you have to have like somebody with you, or did you just rent it?
No, you just rent it. I mean, the cool thing about it is you show up. They're like, does anybody have a boating license? No. Okay, let's go through, and then they just go through a couple of things. R means backwards. D means forwards. When you're out of gas, you're out of gas. So they basically just go through like a couple of brief explanations of things, and then you're gone. You're on your own.
And who was driving the double-decker pontoon?
My brother-in-law, who actually is like, he knows how to drive things.
Yeah.
And, he's a mechanic. So he's one of those people, like, he's a perfect guy to go on vacation with for me.
He understands R&D.
Well, and everything I can't do, he can do.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. So I'm like, how do you fucking get this wheel back on a scooter? And I'm like, that scooter's fucked. And he's like, no. And then he just puts the wheel back on the scooter.
That scooter's fine.
So he can drive a boat and so we were out there taking edibles and acting like children for 8 hours. Went to a private beach.
Did you bring your kids?
Oh, yeah.
That would have been hilarious if you were like, we're not going to bring you on this. Have fun at the beach.
Have fun, kids.
Bye, guys.
We're going to wave at you when we come by.
It's a booze cruise. No kids allowed.
No, they don't care. Kids don't care what adults are doing.
No,
right?
they don't.
Like
as long as they're having fun.
Yeah, so
And
they're in their own universe, and they think your world is boring.
Yeah.
Even when your world is exciting because somebody's vomiting from alcohol.
Who vomited from alcohol?
Nobody. But I'm saying, like, even when things get wacky for adults, kids are still like, whatever, snooze fest.
Yeah.
So they don't care. They're doing their own thing, living their own life. And the water was like emerald green.
Oh, my God.
It was
Vernon
pretty
is
fucking
so beautiful.
insane. It was good. But
It's
my
nice.
dad, like, he's blind, right?
Yeah.
So he'd be like, I have to go pee. And I'm like, well, you're getting wet. Like, there's, we're on a boat in the middle of a lake.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he really thought that through of like, I'm going to have to put a life jacket on and get dipped blind into the middle of a lake. And then
blind.
and so my son can't pee in a lake. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to fucking get used to it. He's like, no, I can only urinate into a toilet.
With your oldest?
Yeah. My oldest son's like, I can only pee in a toilet. And I'm like, well.
Oh, boy, do you have a lot to learn.
Yeah. Hope you find a toilet at the bottom of the lake because we're not leaving the boat. But so my dad's getting dipped. Like, I thought he was going to be relaxed. I thought he was going to be chilled, right? I thought, like, a blind man in a life jacket in the middle of a lake. I thought he was going to lean back and just, like, if I was blind, I would love it.
Yeah.
Like, just being in a lake and just kind of,
Feeling that.
You trust the people around you. So they're like, there's nothing around you.
Yeah, have
you
you
can
ever
just
closed your eyes and just floated and it feels fucking amazing.
Yeah, the problem for him is that he didn't feel comfortable laying back, so he would stand. He would just kind of like have his face out, and a wave once in a while from another motorist would hit him in the face, and he couldn't see it coming, so he'd just be like, "Where's the?" And then he's taking a talking drink. Give me back to the bucket. What the fuck? And I'm like, just a wave. It's just a wave. So then I tried to get him to pee off the end of the boat, but then we've got children, and he's like, you got a blind guy, pissing off of it. Children, look out!
Don't just beat on the water slide. Oh my God.
So that was pretty fun. But that's the way to do a holiday for sure. Lose a dog.
Oh my God.
Don't lose the dog. But yeah, it was just weird because none of us had been on holidays for years together, probably. Yeah. And we're like, okay, this is cool. And then you lost your dog. It's probably dead.
Oh
like,
thanks. That's
thanks,
horrifying.
Jesus.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jesus.
Thanks, Muhammad Ali.
I always hated kids that, like, every summer got to go somewhere night, like, really cool. I mean, we did go camping every summer usually, and then, like, to BC or something. So I guess we did get a vacation every year. But, like, friends that, like, oh, we're going to Hawaii this summer. We're going to Mexico. I'm just like, fuck these kids.
Yeah, those rich motherfuckers that like, but they're going to be rich too, right? So it's not like their day's coming. No, it isn't. Their day's not coming. They're going to be rich too.
Their dad lost it all in the big market downturn. I don't know.
Whenever that was.
2008.
But yeah, it was funny. I was listening to this radio show today where people were like bitching about millennials, like fucking millennials and these spoiled kids.
Yeah.
And their fucking participation trophies and nobody gets a zero.
Yeah.
And then this millennial guy was like, you guys did that.
Created us.
Like, we just took the trophy. Well, your generation invented the participation trophy. Your generation invented the no zeros.
Yeah.
We just accepted it.
Yeah.
It has fucking nothing to do with us. You guys are the idiots.
That's the best point. And like, I feel like, I mean, Adam has to deal with millennials hiring them, and even at our restaurant, we had like 6 job interviews and none of them showed up. None of them called, nothing. And I'm just like, they're not teaching people to just have some sort of courtesy to like.
Well, yeah, I'm
you're trying to find a job, and like Adam said, like guys have showed up without resumes, and he's like, "You have a resume?" They're like, "Nah, I'm here." And he's like, "You can go home and write up a resume and come back." Like,
nah,
it's like crazy though.
Yeah,
it's because they weren't taught. Absolutely, we weren't taught how to balance a checkbook or how to use money.
And like I find, like this generation of children, they're more self-assured. They're not looking to be, they're not looking for approval.
Yeah.
From adults. Like when I was younger, I was seeking the approval of adults constantly.
Yeah.
Like if the adults were like "fuck you," then I was like, "Oh, I gotta make that guy. What's wrong? Why doesn't that guy like me?"
Yeah.
But children of today, they really don't give a fuck whether like my kid will go to hockey camps and I'll be like, "Hey, Jack, that teacher, like his kid plays in the NHL. Like, make sure you listen to him." And he's like, "I'm not gonna fucking listen to him. Look at his dumb helmet."
That means they have no respect.
He doesn't
care. That doesn't mean they're more self-assured. That means they're like shitty humans. What are you talking about?
Well, they're just like, I don't like look at him. I don't care.
Well,
but I would be like, oh my God, I want him to think I belong in the NHL.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
But my kid's like, I don't care what that guy thinks because his kid plays in the NHL. Why would I care?
Why would I care?
Why would I give a shit about that grown up?
I hate the NHL. It's for pussies.
He's not in the NHL. His kid is.
Oh my God, your son sounds like an apathetic 21-year-old. I love it.
No, he's like 50.
50.
Yeah, like today was day 2 of a hockey camp. And he woke up like, my back! Ah! I'm like, you're 10. You don't have a back.
You don't have a back to fuck up yet. Shut the fuck up.
No, you shouldn't even know what a back is.
He probably just hears you saying it, and then he's like, that's the one that hurts the most because Dad yells the loudest.
I guess so. But I'm usually like a ribs guy. Yeah. I thought I had a bad back until I got insoles and realized I just had flat feet.
Yeah, those insoles will change your life.
Oh, like 15 years I was going to the chiropractor 4 times a year. Like, well, my back's out again. You know me and my wacky back. And then one guy was like, why don't you get lower back insoles from London Drugs? And I'm like, I guess. Then I bought them, and I've never had a back problem since.
Holy shit.
It was like 10 years ago.
Did you do that Dr. Scholl's thing where you stand on it and it measures exactly what you should wear?
No.
They have that at London Drugs. I saw it once.
They do?
Yeah.
Have you been doing any comedy lately, or you been staying away from the fucking streets?
I've been staying off the streets. No. I don't know. I haven't really been, I haven't done, no, nothing last weekend. But it's so nice to take off. I have 2 shows tonight.
Yeah.
But it's so, I remember when I was like, I never want a night off. And now I'm just like, I just want my whole life off.
Oh yeah. No, if this sucker.
Let's just end this. My full financial plan is now, I'm buying so many lottery tickets. It's disgusting. I didn't ever used to
Looks
buy.
like you have silver nail polish.
Woo! Actual the big one, the number ones. I've been buying a Super 7 and a 649 for every draw, some crazy old person.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just I would like some help from the money Jesus.
From the money Jesus. From Money Muhammad.
Yeah, because I did get a car. I know I cried about this. I did finally get it. My mom had to get it for me because I'm a grown adult.
Cosign, not full sign, cosign.
Well, they basically put the loan in her name.
So she could come and take your car anywhere, anytime she wanted.
Yeah, Wendy could just walk in and take that car. Although it's registered in my name, I don't know. It's all complicated and stupid.
I think you should get a license plate that says Wendy's.
I should. This is Wendy's, and not the restaurant.
COS Wendy WNDY.
It was really funny because I brought her in with me to sign the papers, and so the car was $13,500, and then I had I think $1,000 they gave me for my van, so it was 12 something.
Oh, wait a minute, what? That van's worth more than $1,000, said Grandpa.
Yeah, I know, I'm sure it was, but I was lazy.
Yeah, you probably could have sold it for parts for more than that.
Oh, well.
But who gives a shit?
Life goes on. I don't care anymore.
Yeah, you just want to get rid of it.
I just want to get rid of it. I wanted to get a new car because the brakes were about to kill
And your
me.
car is nice. It's a Ford Escape,
it
2014.
But they wanted to charge me and I've seen the movie Fargo. I understand the whole undercoating thing. And then my mom acted like that man in Fargo. You're a fucking liar. She looked at the woman.
What did she say to the lady?
She looked at the woman and she goes, "How do you people sleep at night?
On a
you just added $7,000 to this sale for no reason. Like, it was pretty fucking crazy. Like, it went from 13 or something to 21. And I'm like, where did this? Oh, well, you have to have that undercoating because they have salt on the roads in Edmonton now. You got to be careful. Your car's going to rust out.
You will rust that motherfucker right out.
Like, okay, so I bet you the person that bought this car originally was sucked into it. I'm sure it already has undercoating on it. Leave me the fuck out of this undercoating.
You would think that they would change it to a different name. Have they changed it to a different name? Do they still call it undercoating?
It's still called undercoating.
Why that needs a name change?
It does need a name because people know that undercoating.
Yeah, it needs to be. They need a rebrand on that one.
But then I was supposed to pick it up, and then
would you like a tummy wrap on it? A tummy wrap?
Would you like your car to have a tummy tuck?
We wrap the tummy.
Do you want us to inject your car seats with collagen?
How about an overcoating?
An overcoat sounds nice.
I like overcoats.
But I was supposed to pick the car up like last month, not yesterday, last Monday. Mm-hmm. And then I get there and there's no car. And then the sales manager comes like, oh, sorry, we had to go fix something because there was a warranty and it was a recall. We're taking it, which I'm happy. I'm happy that they can fix it. But then I would call to get updates and no one would call me back. And I was getting so pissed off because I was just like, just tell me. And then I would always call. They say, oh, we'll be ready in a day or two. And then it was like, I'd show up and they're like, oh, no, it's not ready. And then the day we were supposed to pick it up Monday, the guy that sold it me texted me, call me immediately before you come. And I'm like, what?
He sounds white.
He is.
For sure.
I'm like, what the fuck now? So then I called him and he's like, oh, we didn't get the key programmed. It's got to go to the Ford dealership. And I'm like, I have to work at 4. I'm coming at 1:30 or 3:30 to get it. And if it's not ready, I'm going to fucking lose my mind. So then we get there at 3:30. And by 3:57, I was signing. Thank God I worked at 5. I lied. Because I knew they were going to fuck me over.
Don't lie to a car salesman.
Never. Always be honest. But so then I was just like so fucking pissed off. That was the worst experience. Buying a condo was easier than buying this fucking car. It was just like constant phone calls back and forth. And they would ask me for things one at a time. And they should have just said at the beginning when I told them I have no money, I'm like, well, get a co-signer. That's what the first conversation should have been.
Yeah.
So never buy anything from Toyota on the trail in Edmonton.
Well, I think sometimes people are like, I wonder what her humiliation threshold is. And they don't understand we're comedians. So
no, I have no humiliation.
Come on in, Wendy.
Nope.
Bring Wendy.
Bring in Grandma, too. Let Grandma co-sign. Co-sign. Let Grandma co-sign.
Get everybody's signature on that.
Let's have the whole family.
You know what? I don't think I should sign it at all.
No.
Why don't you and Grandma do it?
I'm just going to watch. It'll be great. So life's great. But this has to do, so I watched this thing called the 60s, and it was like on, how CNN has like all those things. So they were going, this one was about like teenagers in each, and they did the 60s. And I'm like watching this, I'm like, what the fuck happened to these people? These people were like high on acid and LSD all the time. They were fucking in the streets. And now they're like, just like old.
Yeah, they went from nights and white satin, never reaching the end, like tripping balls on fucking 2 tabs of acid. And now they're CEOs and,
and they're making
taxes.
All the rules and calling everyone lazy.
Socialism's the worst.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know when that happens. Like, when you go from being a very, like, progressive, like, drug taking, like, woo.
It's kind of like every, that politically it's known as that, right? It's like everybody, we don't give a shit about college people because we know that in 10 years they're going to vote for us anyway.
Yeah.
So it's always like, oh, the Republicans or the conservatives are on their way out. Look at this next wave of young people.
Yeah.
But the conservatives know that those young people are going to turn into 26-year-old engineers that are buying their first house.
That want a lower interest rate.
Yeah, and they want lower taxes, and they don't give a fuck about poor people.
Yeah.
Like, you just get older, you have children, and you start caring less about, you just want the lowest taxes possible.
Yeah, you do become a bit more conservative, I guess, the older you get. I mean,
and you don't have any patience for like, oh, fuck them. Like, fuck them. Get a loan. That's what I did. I shouldn't have to pay for any of that. I don't want... Like a lot of people I know, like, why should I pay for schools? Why should I pay? They don't want to pay for fucking anything.
I didn't have kids. I didn't do this.
Why should I pay for? I don't want to pay taxes at all. So it's a natural thing that happens to a lot of people where, of course we were all super liberal when you were 16 or 17.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people by the time they hit 40, like, forget it.
Yeah, you have this such like optimism when you're young. So you feel like, yeah, anything's possible. Everyone can love each other.
Well, and
everyone should be free to do whatever they want.
And you're still super selfish, but your selfishness doesn't. Your selfishness doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
Right? Life is kind of free when you're younger. So you have the opportunity to be more sort of optimistic about stuff, and you've never had to like fucking, cut a vacation short to go work some 12-hour shift at a lobster shack or whatever. Yeah. You've never had to do anything that hard or shitty.
Yeah.
So you're like, the world is great and people are good and I want to be a part of it.
I'm so optimistic and happy.
And then you turn 30 and you're like, I've had to make a lot of horrific decisions.
Yeah.
And
most of them were wrong. I made mostly wrong decisions, and it really sucks.
And then you see other young optimistic people, and you're like,
fucking idiot.
What is that dumb bitch? No.
It is really crazy to like feel this way now, because like I remember being very excited about comedy and being that, and then I remember doing that once. And I was we had shows at Yuck Yucks, and I was middling or something, whatever. But Pete Johansson was hosting, and I kept coming off. I'm like, oh my God, that was awesome. That crowd was awesome. Everything's awesome. And he's like, shut the fuck up with your happiness and positivity. Like, no, that crowd was not awesome. It is not awesome to be in Edmonton doing comedy. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be like that. And then I've done shit like that since then. When people are excited, I'm like, calm the fuck down.
I will shit on your dreams.
I will shit on my dreams were shit on. I will shit on yours as well. It's the rite of passage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't listen to Pete Johansson about much.
No. But what I mean is like I see his perspective.
Yeah.
Because it can get really annoying when you are kind of like doubting everything you've ever chosen to do, and you're just like, okay, this is the 20th time I've played this club. Yeah, the first time is fucking crazy exciting, but then you're still playing that club. You're not in LA. You're not anywhere else where you thought you were going to be, and you're still playing that club over and over.
But I always like the way that I always look at it is like, I'm not going to take away their excitement for this phase of their career because I know that the shit is coming anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I I don't do that to get the new ones, but like I see where he was coming from now better than I did, because I thought he was that was so rude. What a bitter asshole.
And comedy's a little different than a lot of other industries too, because, in other industries you kind of, if you're a nurse, you're going to respect a nurse has been in nursing for 25 years or 20 years or 15 years.
Are you sure? Because sometimes the new nurses come in and they got all these new techniques.
Well, they know how to work the machines better.
Yeah.
So the old nurses are like, "What fucking? I pressed the orange thing twice." So of course
you're supposed to press it 3 times.
And so the new nurses roll their eyes at like the technological disadvantage of the older nurses, but they respect sort of
their experience,
the client care.
Yeah.
Like, how this lady said this. What the fuck? And the old nurse is like, tell her this. Like. So there is like a built-in respect in a lot of industries.
Yeah.
In comedy, there really isn't, because like if you come into comedy, you didn't even know you kind of come into it like, why would I listen to anybody? I've never heard any of these people.
Yeah.
Like I've never heard of any of these people. Why would I listen to any of them? Like I know. It'd be like if you were a nurse and all you knew was like these 9 super famous nurses.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to be like that fucking nurse. She's awesome. Yeah. And then there was all these other nurses in between you, and you're like, fuck off. I just want to be like Sandra.
Yeah.
She's the best nurse. Everybody knows her.
Sandra is the best nurse.
So in comedy, you come into it and there's like 30 people that you know, and they're all famous, and you just want to kind of get to be as good as them.
Yeah.
And then you find out there's thousands of people between you and them trying to do that.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, fuck off. Like, these people are just in my way.
Yeah.
So if they're giving you advice, you're like, fuck off, you loser. Like, you're just in my way of getting to where I want to be.
Mark, I can't remember. Mark Walker posted, because Bob Keel died a year ago, and it really was upsetting when he posted, because he posted a picture of Bob Keel when he was young. When I started comedy, everyone was like, Bob Keel is a fucking idiot, and blah, blah. Like, people were rude about Bob Keel, and he was one of those comics where, like, there's comics from our generation that are now at this point where people are like, what a joke that guy is, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And so and then he posted this picture of like a young Bob Keel, and he's like, new comics need to understand, we were all young ones, we were all the it comic at one time. And like,
Bob wasn't. Let's finish.
Yeah, exactly. I only met him a few times. He said one super gross thing to me.
I understand the point you're trying to make, but in that specific sense, I don't know.
But it is true. like, you know, like you look at these comics that like at one point in their career, they were, you know, the young fucking awesome thing, and then it goes away, and it goes away faster these days too, by the way. Like each year, like there'll be some comic that's like super crazy hot and they're getting everything, and then they don't get anything ever again.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But you can ride that year for a long time.
Can you?
You can pretend it's still happening.
In your mind.
Yeah. And in the minds of all your bios and every show you do.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
everything. You can just keep pretending that it's still 09.
Keep telling open mics to use it as
just back from New York City. Like, no, he's not.
I should do that more because I haven't been to New York City in like 5 or 6 years.
Recently flew over New York City. Here she is, Kathleen McGee.
She just looked at New York City on a map, and she's here for you tonight. Kathleen McGee.
One of Canada's top comics.
Yeah,
How many times is
I think
one of the
it's
top
crazy.
comedians in Canada?
But like look at the Bob Kills and then Stan Thompson. Like I heard all these incredible stories about these people and like Richard
Yeah, but
Lett.
if Bob Keel had sound exchange money, he would have died 10 years earlier.
He won the lottery.
He won the lottery?
He won like $250,000.
Oh my! And then he died?
Well, I think he died I think he won the lottery like 5 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he won the lottery. I remember that.
Was the scratch and win?
No, it was like 649, and he got like.
Really? Oh, I thought
like,
somebody told me it was a
certain
scratch and
amount
win.
of maybe, but I think he won like $250,000.
Holy
So
shit!
he did win. So he did have a win.
Well, I mean, for a comedian of that
God.
age, that is a lifesaver.
That is everything.
You spent your entire life in an industry where it was impossible to save even $10,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden the world just bailed you out. It just said, "Hey, you did save. There you go. It's $250,000."
Marc Maron's lottery ticket was his podcast. You'd listen to stuff, and he was gonna he was like getting deep depressed, like awful about his career.
2 ex-wives.
And then he finally hit something, and it finally paid off. So I guess that's like, yeah, if you do stick it out long enough, you may get rewarded, but it's still just a
Well, he had the huge advantage of, you know, he's obviously very talented and good at it, but he also had the huge advantage of his friends were all famous.
Yeah, but
right?
I
so
mean,
you can like start a podcast and start interviewing famous people
but
immediately.
like that's the thing is like he's the first comedian to think about doing that, and so he won that game. And then now they're like talking about Conan is finally podcast game because Conan's getting 1 million downloads. Yeah, of course Conan is getting 1 million downloads every week. He's like famous. Like anybody that starts a podcast when they're famous is immediately.
You should do what Conan does.
I know I should
be
do it.
famous for 30 years.
Conan. Yeah, be super famous for 30 years, and then you'll get 1 million downloads. But no, it's just like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm so scared to one day be that comic. They're like, Kathleen used to be fun, but then she just like, went down fucking hill fast.
Yeah, man. That Mexican restaurant changed her. She started hanging out with younger chicks, getting drunk.
Although one of the girls that I was working with the other day, she was like, I told her I was 38, and she was like, what? I thought you were like in your late 20s. And I'm like, well, good.
You know what would be funny is if your comedy career ended up with just you in your mid-50s at a comedy show drunk and heckling comedians.
Oh, my God. That's my dream.
If that was you.
Oh.
You shut up.
One day.
This is stupid.
One day. I either want to be that comic or I want to be the comic that some young comic has been like, I've idolized her for years and now I'm famous, so here she is. I love that. I love that when young comics bring up their heroes and then their heroes are like, oh, fucking Christ.
Yeah. Oh, God. She sucks. Because that probably happens a lot to you.
No, it doesn't happen a lot to me.
I always look up to her and I loved her and she's the greatest.
No,
you never had that?
Not like I've people that say they've seen my comedy and enjoyed it, but I'm never like, I've always wanted to meet you. No.
You need to go on another vacation. Take some sound exchange money and throw it into Mexico.
Adam's going to come with me to BC in October.
How much does it cost to go to Mexico, like a resort sort of thing?
Probably
That's expensive, right?
A nice resort is like $2,500
each. Yeah, okay. That's something.
Yeah, it's something. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Well, maybe we'll go on a vacation soon. Who knows? We just celebrated Eugene's birthday.
How old is he?
He's 3.
Oh my God, he's almost.
How many is that in months? That's 24, 72.
When is he considered an adult dog?
Now, because that's what my friend said. Like he's technically 21 because it's like 7 years, isn't it? Like it's 7
Yeah,
years.
I guess
Isn't that
so,
dog years is 1 year? 1 human year is 7 dog years.
Yeah.
So my son is 21 now.
You did a great job raising him.
He's all right. He bites some people, but they deserve it. And he pees sometimes where he's not supposed to. But, He's not as good as Sean's son peeing in toilets only. No, my son is
only in a toilet.
My son is like, I only pee everywhere but a toilet.
I hate toilets.
He hates toilets.
Does he sometimes, is it because he's mad? Does he like he's angry and it's passive aggressive dog behavior?
Maybe. I don't know. It could be. I don't know what it is. Like I could take him outside and then
Which dog do you like more?
I love them both.
No.
Dottie is way cuddlier, but Eugene was my first. That's that
you
kind of
never
thing.
forget your first.
Never forget your first
dog.
I just love both of my dogs in special little ways.
I was trying to get my dad a seeing eye dog, but he's like afraid of the. He's probably afraid of the morning of like. Because once you've buried enough pets, you don't want more pets. Like you get to a point where you're like, I have seen enough animals die.
He'll get a young, but that's the same thing. Like Adam's parents, they had a dog die, and she never wanted another dog again. I'm like, what are you talking about? I always want a new pet after one's died. I feel like empty. Like it's not like, and people are like, oh, you're replacing. I'm like, I'm not replacing that dog. I enjoyed my life with this dog, and now I want to do that over again.
Yeah, there's plenty of dogs in the kennel. You know what I mean? Get over it.
I mean, it is really traumatic to lose a pet. It's sad, but yeah, I thought your dad should for sure get one.
He's not gonna get one. That's for sure.
Oh.
Like you get a seeing eye dog. Those are great dogs.
Yeah.
They're trained by inmates. We've already talked about that.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Hopefully female inmates. Fucking...
No, it's all male inmates. They don't trust women to train something.
They're not ready.
They're not ready.
There are still some things women aren't ready for.
Dog training is one
Let's
of them.
be honest.
Let's be honest. Sometimes, yeah, you see a female dog trainer and you're just like, keep trying, honey. Keep trying. Look at this.
How much you pay that dog to listen?
Yeah.
Money.
Oh my God. Yeah, no. But yeah, we had a birthday party for Eugene. And
that's a good idea.
It was a lot of fun. It was at a patio, and so we could drink. And then they had a dog cake. They had a cake, and then Eugene licked some of it. And then my dogs were sugar high because people kept giving them icing. Like I would like look around, and everyone was like, "Shh!" And everyone was doing it. Like
Eugene, don't tell me.
Eugene was like walking.
Yeah. What's his blood sugar? 52.0.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
It was crazy. But yeah, it was I would suggest if you have pets to celebrate their birthdays too. It was fun.
We have cats. Cats. It's just not worth it.
Cats don't give a shit.
They'd be scowling in a fucking tiny hat. So they just have a tiny birthday hat on, scowling like, say cheese, Jewel.
Your cat's name is Jewel?
It's your birthday.
Is your cat's name Jewel?
Yeah, because we're fostering kittens, so we have like 2 little kittens, and then we have 3 cats of our own. 2 of them that are ours, and one of them was a street cat that we just brought in.
Oh, I love that. We have 2 cats
now. So we
now.
have Buddy the street cat, Jewel and Gator are the other 2 cats that we got from whatever SPCA, and then 2 kittens.
Cute.
Merida, and Maui.
What's Merida mean?
I don't know.
Marinade?
I keep calling her Miranda, and then people are like, it's Merida. I'm like, fuck off. I'll call that animal what I want.
We finally named the cat that we decided to keep.
Oh, what is it?
Its name is Maybe.
Oh, really?
Only because it wasn't
who else was Maybe in the...
That was Arrested Development.
Right.
But it wasn't... It was just Maybe because we were maybe going to keep her. And it's a cute name.
That is a cool name.
But I got them this, like, thing today. It's like a piece of carpet, and then it's got this big dome of, like, it looks like a Brillo brush or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like for them to like rub up against and rub through, and I'm like, I wonder if they're
like their genitals and stuff.
Yeah, they're all over their pussies, all over their pussies. No,
is there? Wait a minute. Is there animals that masturbate?
I have on film the polar bear at the Winnipeg Zoo masturbating.
Female, right?
No, it was
male, like jerking it with their claws.
So his back is to the camera, but you just see his arm moving, and then his head goes back. I don't care if he was or wasn't.
And then like a bunch of semen.
Yeah, just shooting, just, and you know what? Polar bear semen, icicles.
Yeah.
Just shoot icicles out there.
Right into a seal's mouth.
Yeah, of course bears masturbate.
I didn't know that.
Well, masturbating bear on Conan, that has to be true.
Oh, yeah. There was a masturbating bear?
I don't know. Do animals masturbate? We'll have to do some research for the next thing.
Google it one time.
I heard that. Yeah. Who's gonna?
I like how many times people say I'm going to research this when they mean I'm going to Google this once and read 2 links. That's my research. Do your research.
That'll be a good.
Those are my favorite like conspiracy theorists that are like, do your own research. Like, okay, I'll go to your fucking clearly free, unpolitical website. Climate change isn't even happening.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Look at what Neptune looks like. Fuckers.
What was that series you were watching about?
The planets.
The planets. Okay, because I started watching something else, Weird Planet. I thought that was it, but it's
No.
like Will Smith hosts it. Was that the one?
No, this one's like it's a BBC Earth and PBS America. They both kind of made it. They fucked and made this show. So it's a lot of CGI of planets, but it's also like, you know, pretty good in like because that have I mentioned that on the podcast before when I was talking about like it's snowing on Jupiter.
I've heard you say it on stage a lot lately, and I love it. There's hydrogen. Hydrogen showers.
Yeah, because like, oh, don't you hate it when it's raining? And people are like, yeah, I do hate it when it rains. And I'm like, don't you hate it when like clouds go up and then it like pours the source of life all over you? Ugh. I'm like, it's snowing on Jupiter, it's snowing ammonia. A 1,500 mile an hour wind on Neptune.
And you're worried about a little bit of rain.
Minus 355 degrees Fahrenheit on fucking Neptune. Where are you going to go vacation? Southern Neptune, where it's minus 315 degrees Fahrenheit?
We're going to go to Vernon, Neptune. We'll rent one of those. We'll rent one of those double pontoon boats and sail on the rivers of acid.
But there is funny parts of the planets, too, because they talk about they always say, like, oh, poor old Uranus. Because, like, Uranus is so boring, like, as a planet. It's just like this blue fucking dot.
Uranus?
Yeah.
It's not Uranus.
No. Only children say that.
I thought that was real, that it was pronounced Uranus. That's how everyone else I've ever heard pronounces it.
No, I think it's Uranus.
I don't think it's
That's
Uranus.
What they call it. Yeah, it's definitely Uranus.
No, I think that somebody
I have watched a document. I have done my research.
That's maybe how the British people say it, Uranus.
No,
like
scientists. Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Hello, love.
I don't think I'm going to put this out there. And if you actually listen to this and you have Twitter, can you please tweet me if I am right or if Sean's right about how to pronounce Uranus?
We will only respond to people who are on Patreon.
Oh, we have a couple of new. Oh my God!
Whoa!
Are we up to $30 a month? Woohoo!
Oh my God!
I gotta thank this guy. I think. Tyler, well, we shouldn't be saying his name because he didn't pay enough to be sent on the podcast.
Wait a minute, he doesn't book Kathleen.
Tyler S., thank you very
Tyler
much.
S.
If you want your last name said on the podcast, you're going to have to buck up.
No, he's actually a very nice man.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. I appreciate everybody that is cool. Like, I mean, you say it all the time, but I've had lots of people come up and say they've been listening and they like it.
Has anybody commented anything bad?
No. I think
Does
the
that
best
mean
part
it's
about
nobody?
It is like if somebody hated us, we could like. I'd love that if you listen to it and you hate us, then you said something. I'll be like, well, then why'd you listen? He did say in the description that there was an off-color school shooting joke. Like he did say, oh well, I listened because I wanted to hear it. I'm like, why'd you want to hear it?
Are you fucking crazy?
Like. No.
I guess you're right. You don't really get too many complaints from podcasts because people are like, well, I should just not listen to it.
We just might have like some enemies out there that'll go on like Apple and be like, these guys are losers. But we've had nice compliments. Toby Hargrave gave us a great review on iTunes.
Oh, did he? Well, he's
really
just the kind of guy that would do that.
He's very nice.
Yeah, if Himmler and his grandchild started one, he'd be like, you know what? That's a good one. They don't focus too much on the gas chambers.
You know who else is a big fan?
It's mostly train ride stuff.
You know who else is a big fan?
What?
Mr. Paul Meyerhog.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And he said
did he?
loves it.
Oh, that's nice.
I told him he's got to come on when he gets here.
He's never going to fucking get here.
He'll come in. Yeah, he's in Vancouver right now, but he's not coming here. He'll be here at Christmas, though. We'll get him on at Christmas time. We'll make him wear a Santa outfit.
He's going to be in Slam Rose. Oh, yeah. He'll be on our Christmas episode. The Paul Meyerhog Christmas Experience.
And Eugene could come dressed as a reindeer.
The Grinch that stole your virginity.
That's exactly who Paul would play. Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god. Now I want to see that porn. Is that a porn?
Yeah.
Is that that's got to be a porn.
Oh, yeah, for
that's
sure.
That's got to be a porn.
Yeah, get
the
in that.
Grinch who stole your virginity.
Get in that chimney, you big rig.
But the whole porn is in rhyme.
Oh yeah. And like
Oh, Cindy Lou Who. No, you can't fuck Cindy. That's a toddler. Cindy Lou Who is really young.
she's too young.
She's too young to
That'll be in the
cute.
description. Kathleen describe. Kathleen talks about toddler fucking.
Hey, it's how we get listens.
Yeah.
It's how we get listens.
Hey, you can't get people on Patreon without a few pedophile things.
You gotta have those seeds to plant that make people listen. Be like,
actually, you know who else used to listen? Jeffrey Epstein.
in hell.
In
He's listening in hell.
He might have talked his way
Do you think
into.
that he got murdered, or do you think he killed himself?
I don't know.
And when are we gonna find out all these people? Like,
Apparently, there's no video of it, right? Like,
But it's just because his list, because wasn't that why they killed him? Because he had his list of all these famous people that raped women or something.
that's sort of the like conspiracy side of it,
Yeah.
I guess, which is definitely possible.
Yeah.
But it's also possible that he was like, "Fuck it, I don't want
To sit in jail.
to carry on," right? And then all you have to like, if you're worth what he's worth, you could pay somebody. You know, you could wire transfer somebody $250,000 to turn the other way for 10 minutes, and then you kill yourself, right?
I didn't even think about it that way.
So yeah, he could have been. He could have easily been like, "Hey, my wife's gonna send you a bunch of fucking money. No one ever has to know.
Yeah.
You shut the camera off for a minute, and I'll
Yeah.
just kill myself." That would be probably more likely. But I mean, the problem is you end up with this. It's a likely scenario that maybe there was outside involvement. But then the people who are pushing that are the same people that would be like, Bill Clinton, fucking, he's a pedophile. Hillary Clinton and Justin Trudeau eat kids out.
I can't wait to see that on the back of someone's pickup truck. Trudeau eats kids out.
You ever seen Trudeau with a young girl? Yeah, you wouldn't see him. He's under the covers. No, but you know what I mean. Like, so.
Oh my God. I can't wait for that to be in the description. Justin Trudeau eats kids out.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, we just have to decide if we want Paul to be on the Halloween episode or the Christmas episode.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. We should travel to France and do a Dead Baby Bear on the road in France.
I would love
Maybe our Patreon account could pay for that trip.
Like I would just become, if I won the lottery, there would be no part of me that would be like, I miss doing that other thing. I would become my own personal travel agent. That's all I would do. Like I would just plan trips.
I literally was like mentally winning the lottery the other day, and I'm not saying this like it's like to sound like a good person, but I was just like picturing like telling my brother I paid his house off, and like buying my mom her dream house, and just like I was just like, wouldn't that be fucking amazing just to be able to do everything?
Think of all the people we could help.
I'd help myself a lot.
Yeah, I would mostly.
I'd get a Rogue.
I would get 10 Nissan Rogues.
Because I just got a Ford Edge.
You could pull an Ali Sadiq and be like, I got 2 F-150s.
One for every day of the week.
You think I'm broke? How many F-150s you got? 0.
Oh,
guess how many I have?
Paid cash.
Take 1. Double it. Boom. That's my number of F-150s.
Oh my God.
He's not a big listener.
What's the first thing you would do if you won the first thing you would do if they said you just won $1 million?
Fill up my car with gas.
I thought you were going to say fill up my pants with shit.
Oh, fuck. Absolutely. Like, you'd probably, I don't care who you are, you'd cry. You'd probably fucking break down. You'd be bawling for 3 days.
In the fetal position on the floor,
You'd
be like, I've been saved. And then I'd have a heart attack.
Yeah, you'd be like my grandmother when Princess Diana died.
Yeah, exactly. I remember where I was when she died. I was watching Mike Bullard on Comedy Now.
Mike Bullard.
I remember watching his Comedy Now or whatever comics episode.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it cut in. Princess Diana has been in a car accident. And I was like, oh.
So horrific.
Yeah.
I had, mine.
You remember where you were?
Yes, mine was weirder than that because I was watching I think I used to do a joke about it, sort of, where
Yeah.
it was the first time I ever got high
Yeah.
on marijuana, and I greened out.
Oh my God, you were greened out.
Yeah, so we were watching the movie Outbreak, and I thought I had that.
That movie, oh my God.
I thought I had the disease that they had in the movie.
The monkey biting disease?
Yes. So I'm like, I got it. I have that. And I'm sweating and shaking and fucking. And then so all of a sudden I'm like, so I'm in this panic of.
Yeah.
Like, and then somebody walks in and says like, Princess Diana just died. And then everybody's like in shock. And I'm like, yep. Told ya. It's a fucking shit's going crazy out there. But I was just like a 16-year-old that was high or whatever.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of I think 9/11 would be the next one that's like one of those, where were you?
Yeah.
And then I can't think of anything that was like that big since. Like any death or anything even. I mean, I was sad when Robin Williams died.
Yeah.
Well,
what would be the next thing?
I
guess.
can't even think of it. No, Michael Jackson even, I do remember that I was driving home from Calgary. I guess I remember that one, but I can't think of one where it was just like the world was devastated.
The world stopped turning.
But I mean, I guess that's good to not have to.
Yeah, there hasn't really been. I mean,
Since 9/11, there hasn't been. I mean, there's been a bunch of shootings, but they all kind of blend into each other.
Yeah, that's the sad part. Is you're like,
is
where
sad.
were you on Sandy Hook? Like, I don't know,
have
eating
no
cheese
idea.
or something. I don't know.
They happen all the time. No, but
Yeah.
I can't think of anything. 9/11 was the last one.
Where were you on 9/11?
Everyone, I was sleeping, and then my mom came in and woke me up, and she goes, "A plane just hit the tower, the World Trade Center," and then we watched the second plane go into that. I watched it, and then I had school that day. I was going to Nate. I remember just being at school, and everyone was just like, "What? We're gonna go to war." Everyone thought we were going to war.
Yeah, there's people in my town that are like, they're gonna hit Fort Saskatchewan next.
Yeah, because Fort Saskatchewan.
We've got the plants out here.
Oh, I remember that whole thing. I remember that.
There was people that thought
there's gas plants in Edmonton. They're
Yeah,
like, we're
we're done.
We are next.
Yeah,
Shut
I'm
up,
like,
you dumb fucking
I don't
idiots.
think you know how Bin Laden works.
Oh my God, this was a
Next,
revenge.
take out Bruderheim. In one of his fucking videos.
Oh my God, no.
Praise be to Allah.
Where were
We've
you?
destroyed Bruderheim.
Where were you?
I was at work in Bruderheim.
Oh, okay, that's why you're bringing up Bruder.
I was working there at a chemical plant doing my thing.
Yeah.
And it was funny because it was like a morning DJ thing, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
morning DJ stuff. Hey, a plane just hit a building. What the hell? Here's a new thing we can chew on for 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
So they were like making fun of it for a while. Like, what kind of an idiot pilot? And then
God, and
and then they went to a song. And in the middle of the song, they faded the song out and then came back like super solemnly. Because so they went into that song like, dee, like making fart noises and
Yeah.
talking about how weird it is to fly a plane into a thing.
Yeah.
And then they came back like funeral. Like, okay,
Okay. Now another
something's
one has
awful.
hit.
Something terrible's happened to K-Rock.
Terry Evans is inconsolable.
Terry Evans. Oh my goodness. I don't know if Bill Cowan will ever recover.
Oh my God. What do you think the next big one will be? What do you think the next big devastation will be? Do you think someone's gonna bomb somewhere? Do you think that like Obama's gonna die in a plane crash? Like what's gonna happen?
We should.
I shouldn't say this stuff and manifest
Obama's
it.
gonna die in a plane.
If that happens, I'm gonna be so upset with myself.
I think Donald Trump is gonna have a stroke and fall down a flight of stairs in Europe.
For real.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be at a photo op in some other country.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna kind of like, and then he's gonna go down.
A stroke
And
took
it'll
out
be-
Luke Perry. It better take out Donald Trump.
Because he's 74. Like fuck, he's crazy
he's
how
not
old.
healthy.
And he lived a rich guy. Like rich guys don't live to be that old.
No, because they live to excess.
Yeah, and you drank tons. You did tons of drugs.
Yeah.
You spent most of your time in a golf cart.
Yeah.
You know, like you golfed hundreds of times a year, and you didn't get out of your cart once, and like
I mean, that would be
you
pretty
get driven
awesome if
around. So like,
Trump just
you know,
dropped
if
it.
you're rich, you don't. There's a lot of things you don't have to physically do. Like he didn't.
Yeah.
You know, so he was never, working out or doing a job that So it just amazes me that he's still alive.
Yeah, it does amaze me that he's still alive. Even that, we shouldn't be talking about this. The fucking CIA's gonna come and murder us. But I can't believe no one's tried to kill him yet. But everyone said that about Obama too. Everyone was like, "Oh, some crazy white supremacist is gonna try and kill Obama."
Yeah, who was the last person that they almost got to was Reagan. Yeah.
That was the last president. Nobody tries to assassinate presidents anymore.
What's up with that? It's
out of fashion.
It's really gone out of style.
It was a boomer thing. The baby boomers were the...
It was the 60s, yeah. Where you had Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, and then Reagan was next up.
JFK, yeah, all those guys. Yeah, it was weird. There was a big rash of assassinations for a while.
And then it just went away.
Just went away. I mean, and
you're right, though. I cannot believe that there aren't more. I guess it's just because you can't get anywhere near Donald Trump.
No, there's probably like so many. Like, there's probably like you watch those shows that those Hollywood, but there's got to be truth to that. Like, there's no way you could. Nothing would get by those people now.
I mean, there's you so think about Donald Trump. There's hundreds of millions of people on the planet that would cheer if he died.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
You know, like, which is kind of a weird position to be in as a human being, to know like 100 million people would celebrate if you died.
I wonder if he cries himself to sleep at night. Like, to be honest, I wonder if he actually is like, this isn't the man that I intended to be.
No.
Okay.
There's no self-reflection. I mean, when you're raised in money,
yeah, and
then you pretend that you earned it yourself,
yeah,
there's no self-doubt that creeps in. You look in the mirror and smile, and something glints off your teeth. Ding!
Everything's great. My life's great.
I'm Donald Trump, and I'm wonderful. Some chicks hate me.
Okay, we got to try and get rich again.
All right,
you got to scratch it. We need a coin or something. Why didn't I bring my coin?
Why didn't you bring a fucking coin? Well, we just have a bag full of Jim Kerr money.
Oh, yeah. Did you look at this, people?
Look at this shit.
And for our non-Canadian viewers, those are loonies and toonies. Those are
everybody foreigners. Guess how much that is.
Yeah, we should do.
One guess on how much that is.
Oh, my God. That might be $400.
That could be.
Is it?
Is it? Yeah. Man, there's a lot of toonies in there.
Oh, my God. There was some show on Netflix. It's like a new game show. I saw one episode. I couldn't even finish it. But so the whole thing was they were given 24 hours. They had to stay awake the whole time. And then they were given money to count. And they had to like count it and keep track. And then like they had to like whoever was closest won stuff. I can't remember. It's on Netflix. It's pretty bad. But it was a little interesting, but mostly bad. I wasn't that into it.
Doesn't look like we're set for life.
Oh.
I mean, that's the name of the game, right?
Yeah, it is set for life. Let's get set for life. Oh my God.
I won't settle for any less. If we win less than that, I won't cash it.
Like, if we got set for life, because you get $1,000 a week for 25 years. So we could each take turns getting a week. I'd collect it all and pay you out and run away and never come back. We would all collect it. Would you take? Because I think it's like either like $25,000 or $1,000 a week for the rest of your life. What would you take? I would take $1,000 a week for the rest. Because I'd blow it all
for sure.
I'd rather just be able to, because that would pay all my bills every month.
Although I wonder why they offer those. Like, there must be an advantage to them doing it per month. Like some people just die and then it's over.
Yeah. No, yeah, like, because if you're old...
Or they kill you?
If you're, like, in your 80s and you win that, you're going to take the buyout. Because they have that with Powerball, too, don't they? Like, in the States, like, if you win a giant Powerball, like, say, $600 million, they say, okay, well, if you take $300 million, you get it now. If you take $600 million, you get it installments throughout your life. I'd still get installments. My car payments are weekly because you pay your loan off faster that way. I don't know what your payments are. Are we even close to anything? 20?
No, not even close.
Me. Oh no, that's 1,000. I thought we won 100. I hate these stupid fucking things.
I don't win any of them. It's just like laborious. Like,
I know.
So I've just done a job for free.
Well, Adam and I, we were at a store and we were just scratching the barcode off and scanning.
I don't mind that.
It was way better.
Yeah, it means you have sort of something wrong with your arms and you're addicted to gambling.
I'm always paranoid. We are addicted to gambling. I'm always paranoid that like I'm gonna miss something and I really actually won, but I throw it away. So it's good to have a machine tell me that I've lost. It's better when a machine tells me.
Yeah, that's how I want to find out my wife's dead.
Hello, Sean.
Hello.
I am,
You might want to sit down for this.
I am message bot 12,000.
Jessica is dead. What? Your wife. Sorry. Thin, narrow pussy. What else is needed?
Oh my god.
Sorry, wrong program.
Is Kent
Would
still
you like
sponsoring us? I
cleaning?
think we've gone over what he said he'd sponsor and he didn't approach to re-sponsor, but
Just send him invoice.
just send them. I just don't know how to do that.
It's
What's an invoice?
okay. Welcome to the Success Podcast.
What's an invoice?
Oh, Kathleen, thank you for giving us the title of this podcast.
Oh my god.
The What's an Invoice podcast. The What's an Invoice episode.
All right, well,
So we've won nothing.
So this is still sponsored by K4 Financial. Go watch Kent Tilley on YouTube. He'll teach you how to save money.
He's
And
very smart. with
He's
things
very
like that.
smart. He's very smart.
Let's see. Is there anything there that you see that you like?
No, I don't see anything that I like. I see one. I hate that when you get two. It's just the worst. When they say when they give you two.
They really kick your ass with that. Hey, 2 flamingos. Oh.
Or even if you get fives, you're like, I definitely won $5, and then nothing. This is fucking retarded. Oops.
Well,
You're not supposed to
hey,
say that.
don't say that anymore.
Now that's the name of the podcast.
This podcast is fucking retarded.
Anyway.
Hello. You're allowed to say retarded. You just have to say fucking first, and they can bleep both out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
We don't bleep, but that's fine.
But thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening, and give us a good review like Toby Hargraves. Be like Toby, not like
Toby.
Paul Meyerhog. Don't
He
be the
didn't give
Grinch
us
that
a-
stole some girl's virginity.
Oh, gross. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.